And on today's show, what is your referral gap? Part one of this week's series on acquiring high-value clients through referrals and introductions with the president of Referral Coach Academy, Bill Cates. Hi, everyone. I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to InsMark, Life Specs, and Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to the show, Bill.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be here.
Bill, I'm really happy to have you here. And if you don't know Bill, and he's been around forever doing one thing, you are really a very myopic guy. You only talk about referrals and client introductions your entire career.
Correct. Acquiring new clients through referrals and introductions.
You have 3 books out.
Yes.
Referrals Now, Don't Keep Me a Secret, Beyond Referrals. You've been on Success Magazine, Entrepreneurial Magazine, Selling Power, Wall Street Journal. You've been in Money Magazine. You've been in a lot of publications.
Well, I've been alive long enough, so.
There you go. Well, when I think about this, you have to be addressing the #1 issue in everybody's practice. It isn't about Steve's tax facts. We bring a ton of people on here with strategies of planning. We know all about the code. We know how to integrate everything we're into when it comes to full-blown estate planning, business succession planning. Everybody's got their practice up to snuff on all those things, but everybody is really weak on marketing and acquiring high-value clients.
Most people are. There are some naturals in this area, but most people, as you mentioned, there's a gap between where they are and where they want to be in terms of acquiring new clients, and not just through referrals, but the actual introduction.
What do you make a difference in that when you talk about it like that?
Yeah, in fact, we can look at this slide here. I call it the perpetual revenue system. So we serve our clients well. We do a good job. We create what I call client engagement, and that creates the referrals, sometimes without even asking, or we ask in an appropriate manner, which we will get into, I know. And then we got to turn that referral into an introduction, because if we don't get connected, it really doesn't matter, does it? And then, of course, we got to turn that introduction into an appointment. And that appointment may be over the phone, it may be in person, but we have to meet with this person in some way. Then, of course, we have to convert that new prospect into a client. We have to make the sale, if you will. Then if we serve them well, we become referable again. So it is a perpetual flow of activity. The beautiful thing with referrals and introductions is that many clients will give us more than one. They will introduce us to more than one person. So we have this perpetual cycle, but it grows exponentially. And we know that when someone gives us a referral and comes to us through a referral, they're going to be more likely to give us referrals. So it creates that exponential growth.
Bill, I noticed on your site, I looked at about 2 or 3 testimonials of leading producers in their company who were very good producers before. They were doing an adequate job, but they got into your entire referral cycle system, and they really upped their game, and now are their number. There's about 3 or 4 guys that I saw in that one alone. They're #1 in their company, and they say that one of the linchpin issues for them, at least in their practice, was going through this and learning this.
Yeah, and in most cases, those advisors were already highly referable. They got referrals without asking. Most people watching this program, you're getting referrals without asking, and that's a good sign. It means you're referable. And what they learned through our system is how to become more proactive and appropriately proactive. There's the referrals that are passive referrals, and then there's referrals on purpose. And that's what I teach people to do, is how to become more referable, so you get referrals without asking, and then how to be appropriately proactive. So I make the joke, so you don't look like an over-aggressive life insurance agent. I believe in life insurance. I think it's very important for proper financial planning, and you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of old methodologies out there that are very aggressive, inappropriate. Most people don't want to look like that, so they err too far on the other side and don't do anything at all. And so I give them that happy medium of how to be proactive.
Now, I've noticed when I was trolling your site, you talk about this issue of referability. Are you referable?
Yes.
And what if you're not, and you want to become that? What's the segue? What's the transition between them?
Sure. And in the next show, we're going to go deeper in that. But in a nutshell, we've got to make sure that our client sees that we're referable quickly. There are things we can do quickly in the relationship to become referable, and that's through the value that we bring. And then we stay in touch with them in such a way that maintains and increases our referability. So a barometer of your referability is that you're getting referrals without asking for them. I should, you should, everyone should be getting referrals without asking for them. That's a sign that we're bringing great value. The problem is that's usually not enough. It's not always the right people being referred to you, or it's usually not enough to build a business on. So then we have to enhance that client engagement and enhance the appropriate level of proactivity.
Now, Bill, in your cycle here, you've walked us through the basics. Let's go to that next slide, if you want. And when we're talking about this, you have this kind of hierarchy of acquisition.
Right.
Walk me through a little bit of that.
So the first level of client acquisition is word of mouth. We all like word of mouth. The phone will ring. Someone's been talking about us out there. That's good. That counts, right? We should get that. But again, not enough to hang our hat on. Not for most businesses, not enough. So the next level would be the referral, as they're typically thought about. It's, hey, Steve, call George, mention my name, et cetera, right? Kind of referred leads are often called.
Sure.
Not enough these days. These days, it's so hard to reach people that if you called somebody and mentioned my name, they may return your call, they may not. They may answer your email, they may not. So we've got to get connected. We've got to get that introduction. That's where LinkedIn comes into play. We'll talk about that later. But that's where we turn this referral into an actual connection. So now, if I shoot you an email as a prospect or I call you, I've got someone interested in hearing from me. And then the next level would be what I call a champion. When someone's a champion for us, they could be a client, they could be someone else in the community. When they introduce us, there's a level of advocacy in there. In other words, they're saying, take Bill's call, take her call. You really should talk to them. It'll be worth 5 minutes of your time. It's not a passive introduction. It's an advocate making an introduction. So ultimately, that's what we're trying to create in our book of business are these champions out there, people making great connections and advocating for us.
We come back from the break. We're going to continue with Bill on a lot of this referral, which I know could really enhance your practice and build out your business. We'll be right back. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back to our second segment, of course, with referral coach Bill Cates. Bill, you're walking us through this, and everybody sits there and says, I would say you're going to get email from our show saying, I have a total referral gap. In fact, I think it's as large as the Grand Canyon. So, everybody's always saying, I need more. I don't know how to fill the gap.
Right.
And what does it look like? Well, what does a typical advisor to you look like when you're looking at his referral gap?
Right. So it could be a quantity issue. It could be not enough new prospects filling the pipeline, not enough new clients. It could be a quality issue where you're not getting enough of the right people. So it could be quantity, could be quality, could be a little bit of both. Again, you should be getting referrals without asking. So some people aren't getting referrals without asking. When some people tell me they ask for referrals and they're not getting any, I say, well, do you get any without asking? And they go, well, no. I said, all right, well, we got to start there. We got to make sure you're getting those, right? So, and they don't have a process. Most people don't have a process. They kind of wing it when it comes to being proactive.
Can I stop you there, though, for a second?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
We're always talking about prospects in the pipeline. Are we having, did I just hear you say we have call reluctance on asking? It's kind of like call reluctance, asking for a referral?
It's referral reluctance, absolutely. It's huge.
Yeah.
And Steve, look, I work with a lot of very successful financial professionals in all types of the financial services industry. And I tell them when I'm giving a speech, seminar, coaching, I say, look, you're successful, you're smart, you're confident, borderline arrogant. And when it comes into, right, when it comes to being proactive for referrals, you turn into a bowl of quivering jello, right? A lot of fear around this, a lot of mistaken assumptions around this. People don't want to look pushy. They don't want to look needy, hat in hand. And so because they have these fears and this mistaken assumptions, they don't go there at all. And they don't have a process, or they don't use a process because they don't feel confident. And so the key is making it part of their marketing plan, making it part of their process.
Well, let's go to this next slide, and let's talk about this, because I'm thinking you always talk about the opportunity lost. This is costing you.
Yes.
And so I want to solve my gap. I know how now, and we're going to talk about how much it's costing us, and we better solve it because it's costing us real money.
Absolutely.
I need you to walk me through that, because there's mechanics here and expense loads that we're not really putting an actual pencil to.
That's right. There are out-of-pocket costs in some cases, and there are opportunity loss costs. So the out-of-pocket costs would be, buying leads. Leads are not getting better or cheaper, right? And they're really a road to mediocrity in this business. Most people that are doing really well in financial services don't want leads, don't need leads, right? And there's an out-of-pocket cost to that. Educational seminars, out-of-pocket cost. I'm not saying they don't work and shouldn't be part of your mix, but again, it costs you money. Event marketing of any kind costs you money. Advertising, direct mail, cold calling. There's a cost to the psyche for cold calling. By the way, Steve, cold calls are God's punishment for failure to get enough referrals, right? So if you're stuck in cold call hell, you're in the right place, and keep talking to me. So there's a cost, and what does it cost for a referral? What does it cost for an introduction? Virtually nothing. Maybe a little thank you something, maybe a meet over a meal. But when you embrace a referral culture within your business, and it's not just asking for them, it's creating a culture, then what you're doing is you're increasing your revenue and decreasing your expenses at the same time. It's every business person's dream to increase our revenue and decrease our expenses. I do this on the micro level with individual advisors, and I do this with companies on the company level, where we supplement all this other activity that costs money just by increasing referrals and introductions, and then the cost per opportunity goes way down. So there's an out-of-pocket cost and a lost opportunity cost.
Now, when I'm trying to make my segue into your system, I mean, I'm just saying a new person, he buys your idea, sees this issue, I want to really rev up my referral machine.
Right.
What's his first step to really engage in this regard?
Right. Well, the first thing really is, and I'll go to the next slide if you don't mind, it's the why you have the gap in the first place. In other words, the mindset, the mistaken beliefs, the assumptions. So for instance, a lot of people believe if I just serve the heck out of my clients, then they will give me enough referrals. And that's half true. If we do have to serve the heck out of our clients, and they will give us referrals, but it's not usually enough again. We have to be appropriately proactive. A lot of people see the referral process as begging, hat in hand. No, there's a way to do it coming from a place of success. A lot of people see asking for referrals as risky, a risky proposition. Well, think about that. If you believe that asking for referrals is risky, then you'll be sitting with a client who loves the work you do, sees the value, is very well connected with family, friends, community, business, but you won't even go there, will you? Because you believe it's risky. That's a limiting belief. So a lot of fear, mistaken assumptions around this. And so the first place we need to look is, what is your attitude or relationship towards referrals? Another example, are you reluctant to give referrals? Finish this phrase for me, Steve. As you give, you
receive.
Sure. It's true in all aspects of our life, right? Yet a lot of financial professionals are reluctant to give referrals because there's a little risk involved when we connect people, right? So if you're unwilling to take that risk to connect people, other financial professionals or just other connections in general, how are you going to create a culture of your clients doing the same for you and taking that risk and connecting? So it's building a culture of that mindset.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Remember, before moving forward with any of the ideas on our show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Missed an episode? Just go out to our video archives. And remember, you could be wiser as an educated advisor. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you tomorrow.